Bro, what?
Yeah, because like you can see everything and it was just not safe.
That's wild. Low key, that'll probably be a thing. It's like whenever there's something that's not safe.
OceanGate.
Yeah. Bro, that's the OceanGate car. Or something like that. Something sketchy or like not safe. You just gotta call it the OceanGate, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna first talk about first law I see. Okay, discover each man's thumb screw.
See, I'm gonna be real, I don't know what that should mean.
Me neither. Let's look.
By the way, guys, he's only saying that because we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, we have no idea because
Yeah.
I had no time.
We could
for
talk
research.
about OceanGate for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Then go to that.
Yeah, go on. I'll read it.
So, recent news on OceanGate is there was some footage of them taking out the submarine from the ocean and like putting some tarps and then moving it out of the ocean, and then apparently they're saying there's human parts or human bodies left.
Yep.
Which I don't know.
Okay. So
And people are saying that this whole thing like doesn't add up, because experts were saying in the time that it imploded and the force that it imploded, they just liquefied.
they should have.
They should've.
If they're talking about the way that they imploded,
Yeah,
because that's
also the other thing. How did we even come up with the amount of pressure that, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, yeah, at the depth, like, yeah, you can measure how much pressure there is at the depth they're at, but
Yeah.
like, how would you know if it wasn't like how would you know if it happened that quickly?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, math helps understand stuff, but like, you never can understand how nature works.
Right.
So like, if I say, oh, the Earth is, or like the sun is, let's say 5,778 degrees Kelvin, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we know if we don't have a temperature, like a thermostat there? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the same thing with the submarine situation, is that they can say that, oh, it happened in like 5 or 6 nanoseconds or whatever.
Yeah.
And then now they're saying that they're not liquefied. There's bodies in there.
Yeah.
It means that there's just a miscalculation somewhere.
Right.
But if they did find bodies, it's probably going to be like, broke, like dismembered arms, legs,
Yeah.
head.
Just chopped up.
Yeah, basically. Because, I mean, when it implodes, I mean, it's metal. Metal's sharp.
Right.
So it's going to cut.
Yeah. They'll at least get sliced up.
Yeah. Yeah, so. Another thing is the weather.
Bro, oh my God.
Dude, I've been
yes,
dying
bro.
for the past few days.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, what was it? I've been like straight. Like I haven't been like.
You haven't dealt with any problems?
Nah, I have had no problems. Probably just like clearing my throat or something, or
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's really just clearing my throat, which I mean I do that anyway. But
Yeah.
man, these Canadian wildfires, bro. Like,
Today's the only good day I've had.
yeah.
So like yesterday was Thursday, and I had work, but I woke up late. So my manager texted me, he's like, yo, are you coming today? I said, yeah. So I showed up, and like you can see that I'm just going through, like my eyes are swollen.
Damn.
Like I'm sneezing every time. Anytime I'm talking, I sound nasally. So even my manager was like, yo, do you want to go home? Like, it looks like you have a cold. I was like, nah, man, I'm just dying from these allergies.
Yeah.
He's like, understandable. But he's like, I respect for you to come in today.
Yeah, I'm good.
And I was 45 minutes late, and he was still like,
Shit.
he didn't care.
Oh, okay.
That's how chilled like my job is.
Yeah.
It's more of like, since it's a smaller clinic,
Yeah.
there's only, at first there was only 4 of us. Now we picked up a 5th person, but there's only 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
And how it works, he always just says, it's like, no matter if you're late or whatever, as long as you text me, I don't care.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like Wednesday I was dying. Thursday morning I was dying.
I think, what was it? Wednesday was the worst day?
Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those two.
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday was like, we had the worst air quality in the world, bro.
Yeah.
And you can see the smog.
It was bad.
Yeah. It was.
Especially at night. At night it was pretty cool though. It reminded me
yeah.
of Gotham.
Oh, bro saw the bad sign.
No, it reminded me of like Gotham from the new Batman.
Yeah.
Or like the newer Batman.
Arkham Knight.
No, not the game.
Oh.
Like the actual Batman movie.
Oh, the movie. I was gonna be
Yeah.
like, what?
Speaking of Arkham Knight, I might just replay that game, dude. That
Yeah.
game is so good.
Bro, finna turn off the audio.
Yeah. But So all right,
That is a fire game. I've never played Arkham Asylum. That was the only Batman game I've ever played was Arkham Knight.
Same. I haven't played Arkham City or Arkham Asylum.
I think I've seen the fight scenes in Arkham Asylum and like the previous ones.
Yeah.
What was the one he was like on the rooftop with them?
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. That was a fire ass.
So like
scene.
yeah,
like
so
Mr. Freeze and shit.
how it's ranked is Arkham Knight's by far the first one. And then Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum is second, Arkham City third, and then Gotham Knights the new game that's out. Apparently it's the worst.
Oh yeah, the one with Nightwing and shit, right?
Yeah, it's Nightwing.
Yeah.
I think Robin is in it.
Yeah.
But it's basically what happened after the Nightfall Protocol.
And which happened in what game?
Arkham Knight.
Okay.
So do you remember what the Nightfall Protocol was?
Didn't he die at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what it was that he did all of this in one night. He had to kill all the villains, or like not kill, but like jail all the villains at the time.
Yeah.
And then he scared them enough, like he scared like the smaller criminals enough to where they didn't do any like any type of crime.
Mm-hmm.
So then when he initiated the Nightfall Protocol, what it is that he would go into Wayne Manor, the mansion, and then the mansion would explode with him and Alfred in it.
Alfred died too?
Yeah.
Oh.
So both him and Alfred were, so they ended up dying with all of their assets and everything.
Yeah.
So the Batmobile, Batwing, Batcopter, all that stuff was in Wayne Manor. Everything got destroyed. And then there's a cutscene at the end where like you can see the same scenario when Bruce Wayne was younger with like his mom and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same scenario, but instead the criminal looks up and it's like a jump scare of Batman. But it's like a dream because everyone's so scared that he's going to come out from the shadows again.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because no one knows that Bruce Wayne was Batman.
Right.
Or they did in Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that was a crazy ending. I knew he died, but I didn't know like all that extra shit.
Yeah. So in Gotham Knights, it's basically everything that happened after the Nightfall Protocol, like a long time after. And dude, like, so this is what I've heard. It's PS3 type of gameplay, PS4 type of graphics, but it's on a PS5 console. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm not buying it. It's not a good game.
Yeah. I saw it. I thought it was like some multiplayer, like,
yeah, dude, it's so dumb.
Like Call of Duty type shit.
So how it works, so like that multiplayer stage, it's still a single player game, but you can switch characters. So like if you're in midst of the fighting, so in Arkham Knight, I don't know if you remember, but like there's a few fight scenes where you can switch between Batman and Nightwing.
Okay.
It's the same thing, but it's a lot different and like really dumb.
Okay.
So.
What? Yeah, Abby's with us again because, yeah.
JoJo was with us and then dipped.
Yeah. I didn't want JoJo in here because if she
started barking?
Yeah, she would start barking. With her, she'll like just stand up like that and then just run to the door and then we just let her out.
Yeah.
She chewing.
But another game that I'm excited for to come out is Assassin's Creed, the new one.
Mirage?
Yeah.
So here's the thing with Assassin's Creed. I heard that I heard about the other game that they're making after this one before I heard about this one.
Oh yeah, I know.
I forgot was
they did it like a
it's like a samurai like Japanese one.
So what they did, it's hard to explain, but what they did was that they did like a mass release. So they released Mirage and then they released the Japanese one you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then they released something that's like the next gen stuff that they're going to add. So like you know how they're all connected by, forgot the name of it, by like the synchronous or something like that.
Yeah.
And like how you can like switch in and out of the synchronous. So now what you can do is you can switch in and out of each synchronous from each storyline, but not in Mirage in the new one, but in like 2 games after.
Yeah.
Because they did like a mass release of like the next 6 games that are gonna come out.
What was I'm trying to see the new ones.
So while you're looking for it, I'll explain what Mirage is gonna be. So it's supposed to be in
Codename Red.
Codename Red, that's what it's called.
That's the one I want. I saw Mirage. I thought it was like,
I'm excited for Mirage.
It looks cool
because it's Basim's old, like his old thing. Have you played Valhalla?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember?
I hated Valhalla. That was probably the worst Assassin's
Really?
game.
I liked it better than.
I liked it because
it was just too much ship stuff.
Yeah, I liked it because it was like the whole like Norwegian like Viking kind of thing.
Mhm.
That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
But,
Game was really long though.
It was super long, and I kind of liked how you can make your own base kind of thing. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. So in Valhalla, you remember the hidden ones?
Yeah.
So basically, it's Basim's origin story and like how he joined the hidden ones.
Mm.
So that's why I'm excited for it. It's because it's gonna go back to its old. I miss old Assassin's Creed, like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, 3, Black Flag, so on and so forth.
Black Flag.
So those ones. So I miss those ones, and it's apparently gonna be like that again, where you're with one character and he doesn't have like multiple weapons. He just has like the hidden
like
the hidden knives.
Wrist dagger, whatever.
Yeah, the wrist dagger. So like when he fights like how he did, like an actual assassin.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for this Codename Ren shit because I kind of like that Japanese samurai culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably be the next Assassin's Creed I get.
I don't know
but
if you've.
I will want to watch gameplay of Mirage to see if I get that one.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you're into samurai. I don't know if you've played Ghost of Tsushima.
No, I have not, bro.
It's a great game, dude.
I heard, bro.
It's such a good game.
I heard.
You can get it on Steam, I think.
I probably could for sure. I remember playing For Honor all the time.
Yeah.
I always picked the samurai guys.
This one is great, dude.
Asian like nation you could, because I think they have like China or something or some other like Asian nation.
Yeah.
Besides Japan, I think, and I would always play them. Like those are like my favorite characters.
But yeah, one game I would recommend for you to play is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I'll probably watch gameplay on that shit pretty soon.
Just because of the fact that I watched the full gameplay, and everything you do in there is based off like the samurai culture of like what they used to do and how they did everything.
Oh yeah.
Like so like the samurai's honor, right? Like how if you die, like the honorable death is you kill yourself in the
you
stab yourself in the stomach.
And you get your head chopped.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they do that multiple times in the game, and like everything you can think of Japanese culture, like when samurais are around. That's exactly how the game is because it's made by a Japanese company.
Yeah, oh shit.
But like the graphics and stuff are made like it was partnered with the U.S. So the graphics are crazy.
Damn. Yeah, I'll probably have to watch gameplay on that shit.
Yeah.
And then
worth a buy. If I didn't watch the game, I'll definitely buy and play it.
Yeah. Might have to. I heard that it lost to the sequel of Last of Us.
Yeah.
And the Game Awards or some shit, whatever that's called.
I'm still kind of mad because Last of Us was good, but a lot more people play the Ghost. Not a lot of people play just because of the fact that it doesn't have it. They don't speak English in it.
Oh,
yeah, it's Japanese.
Makes sense. Yeah, I get that. Because honestly, me personally, I hate watching like shows and movies where like the language it's another language,
really?
And I have to read the English, subtitles, and then it makes me not enjoy the movie.
Really?
Because it's like I'm too focused on what, like it's like it's like reading a movie. It's like reading with the movie in the background.
Really?
Which is like I hate that.
I personally like that. So like when I watch anime, I always watch the sub version, and like when I watch Bollywood movies, I always watch like in Hindi and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always keep the subtitles on. I watch while I'm reading the subtitles.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Dude, I don't know.
I have to like see the words what they're saying. Because otherwise, it's like I'm just watching moving parts and there's no like anything behind.
But then like the dub is just annoying because like the voiceover just doesn't feel the same.
I know. People say all the time, it's like, sub's way better, dub sucks, like the voice aren't as good, but it's like, well, you can fucking understand it, so I don't give a fuck. I like anime, but not to where I have a preference over subbed or dubbed.
I actually haven't watched an anime since the last Attack on Titan episode came out.
I haven't watched an anime since
Demon Slayer.
I would say Demon Slayer, and I know season 3's out. But I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Probably not gonna watch it either. I don't know.
I don't be watching shit like that.
I don't get that, and then like I just don't get the same hype I used to get for anime.
Yeah.
The only one I'm finishing is Attack on Titan. And I'm done. Yeah. Like the only reason I'm so invested in that show, bro. Like it's crazy because that's like the most adult show that you can watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fire anime for sure.
It's the Peaky Blinders version of anime.
Yeah. Yeah. I think going back to games, I think. The game I'm most excited for is Forza Motorsport.
Yeah, of course.
They're like completely starting from scratch on that game, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I was damn near like when it was coming out, I was like, damn, do I like save up and get a race setup? Do I get a racing sim or some shit? I would love to, but I mean, I don't got no room for it.
Yeah.
So,
if you could give a summary of the new Forza game, give us a summary.
so pretty much starting from scratch, like
Okay.
they're completely erasing, like adding on from the old game.
Mm-hmm.
They're completely like all new graphics, all new physics on how it.
That's what I've
it
heard,
feels
that
to
the
drive.
physics is completely different in this new
Yeah.
Forza.
Yeah. And even just the attention to detail is completely different.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, if you've played Forza long enough, you'll understand that Forza's infamous for, like, having shitty customization.
Yep.
Like, if you can, like, put, like, a wing or a front lip on a car,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing in every single Forza Horizon game or Forza Motorsport game. And I'm pretty sure that's coming back to this game, unfortunately. But it goes down to detail where, like, when you start a race, your car's super clean, and when you see your car after the race, you'll see all the rubber and dirt being kicked up on it.
Oh, okay.
And like even if you go off the road into like grass or something, that part
you'll
of your
see the
car,
grass marks.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just gonna be a lot more realistic.
It's a lot more detailed. There's like there's an all new feel to it. You know,
Mhm.
different
Yeah.
camera, like just the viewpoints are different.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. If you watch just like it's called the trailer, but it's really like the creators like just talking about the game and showing some clips. It looks insane, bro. So that's why I'm like most excited for it because what was it? Forza Horizon 5. That was the last one that came out.
Yep.
And they haven't made a Forza Motorsport in 5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why like this motorsport's like I'm hyped for because I love motorsports. People are like, I don't like motorsport. Horizon's better because it's like open world.
Yeah.
But I like motorsports because it's more realistic.
Isn't Forza Horizon where you can do missions in there or something like that?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like you just pick a car and then you can literally drive around this big ass map. It's like the open world for like
So like GTA,
Yeah.
but for cars or
Yeah.
like motorsports.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
And then motorsports is like the only time you're driving is like racing on a circuit or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So I opened up to
got?
Law 33.
Okay.
Discover each man's thumb screw. What do you think that's talking about? I read it.
Thumb screw. See, I don't know. Because thumb screw, I don't know. Fuck. I'm drawing a blank on that shit. Discover what a man's thumb screw?
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know.
All right. So I'll just give you the judgment.
Yeah, just give me a little something.
Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. So like just
Using
everyone has
another
a
man's
weakness.
weakness to your power.
Correct.
Against them. It's very detailed. I don't.
It is. And like as a man, you're not supposed to show weakness,
Yeah.
but every man has a weakness.
And men hate when their weakness is called out.
Correct. That is so true.
Like by anybody.
Yeah. Like if let's say it's not true, but let's say my weakness is freaking
Your hair color or something.
my hair color, right? Or no, yeah, I'll say my biggest insecurity, I'll say like let's pretend, right? It's my hair.
Yeah.
And you say, "Bro, your hair looks greasy."
Y'all bald headed today.
Exactly. I'm gonna be feeling a lot more different towards you,
Right.
but then you can use that toward like for your advantage, because now you know my insecurity.
Right.
By like, I don't know how you would do it, but
Yeah.
it teaches you in the book,
Right.
basically. But like that's obviously just a completely random example, but like certain examples like of real life situations would be like he can't handle, or like a man can't handle, like certain guy, let's say he's a salesman, right? He can't handle closing a deal under pressure.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm trying to sell you a car, okay? You have a high credit score of 780, which is great.
Yeah.
So now with your high credit score, I'm trying to get you to finance this car, but you're like, I'm going to put 95% down and I'm not going to finance this car for anything higher than 2%.
Yeah.
And the store policies that you had, it has to be higher than 3.5. So now that man's weakness is that he can't convince you to do it. He'll give you the best deal possible, but he won't close the deal. So now you use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
By saying, all right, you're not going to close this deal with me, so I'm going to go lower. I'm going to put 95% down, and I'm going to do 0% interest if you don't like it, you're not going to get paid. I'm not going to buy the car. I'll just go to a different dealership and they'll give me lower interest rate than you are. You see what I'm saying? And then you can work it to your advantage. So like, then he'll be like, okay, what interest rate do you want?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know how car salesmen get paid.
No.
So
really.
when I was looking into getting a job as a car salesman, obviously I didn't do any interviews, but I applied, got a few interview jobs, but then I like did my research on it. I was like, yeah, this is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get paid hourly.
Yeah.
They don't get paid annually either. They get paid off commission.
Straight commission.
So like, let's say I sell you a $2,000 car, I can probably make like $400 off that.
Yeah.
So that's how they get paid. So like, if I sell 0 cars a month, I'm making $0 that month.
Yeah.
So that's why like they'll push you to buy a car. It's because, you know, and plus their job's on the line if you don't make the payments.
Right.
Because if you don't make the payments, it's under your name. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how you can use his weaknesses by like, be like, yo, I know that you need to get paid, but you're not working with me. And then now you can get the interest rate you want.
Yeah.
The lower the better, because now you're paying a lot less.
Yeah.
So that's a better example of how to find a man's thumb screw.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, next one.
All right, let's look
Actually,
at that was Law 33.
Yeah, let's do one that I have actually read. Okay, hold on. There was one that I remember. I just have to find it. Oh, here. Law 4. Always say always say less than necessary.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
You know what's crazy is like I've actually like put that to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember the one time it was me, you, Marco.
A bunch of other friends at a bonfire.
No, it was at Beat Ups.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
remember
think
this.
well, I don't know if I don't think it was me and you.
Mm-hmm. Me and you were the only ones that talked to each other.
Yeah,
because they're talking about random stuff.
Yeah, and then I wasn't like talking for a bit, and Marco was like, "Yo, bro, you good?" I was like, "Straight, bro."
Yeah,
like I'm straight.
yeah.
You know, and then what was it again? It was just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was at Beat Ups with Marco and somebody else.
Yeah.
And, he was like, "Bro, what's up your ass, bro? You good?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm chilling, bro."
Yeah.
Like, so I've honestly noticed that I've just kind of I speak less
Mm-hmm.
at certain places.
Yeah. You are also following the prophet's path. Congrats. But yeah, no, like so how the prophet, peace be upon him, he said, if you have so say good or say nothing at all.
Yeah.
And then one of his companions, so what the companion said is that I've never regretted staying silent, but I've always regretted if I said something.
Yeah.
Or like I've had no regrets when I'm silent versus I do have regrets when I talk.
Right.
So you're basically putting that into your own thing, and that's exactly what the prophet, peace be upon him, said too. Is that if you have nothing good to say, stay quiet.
Right.
And the more, and like I think this is in the book, but when you're reading, or like when you're actually silent, you're more observant of what's going on, because now you're not focusing on a conversation. So let's say me and somebody's talking, right? So let's say me and Abby are talking.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to be engaged in that conversation between me and Abby, and like let's say you guys are talking about something crazy important.
Yeah.
And I completely miss it.
Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
Right.
And like if you're silent, you're hearing all these conversations, and then you can tune into one if you want, or you can just listen to and how they talk.
It's almost like
and
a
if it's like
superpower, bro.
Exactly, and it's like the atmosphere. Like you understand what atmosphere you're in.
Yeah. There's a saying, I forgot. I know it's like a dumbed down quote.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much like the most dangerous person in the room is the one that knows what everybody said, or like that stayed silent or something like that.
Because they analyze the room.
Yeah, and they can understand. Like if you just stay silent and you focus in on what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "No, I said this," or "No, you said that," and then it's like, "Well, actually, you said this. Actually, you said that."
Exactly.
Type
You
of
basically
thing.
have power over them.
Exactly, which is like now
Power.
I can kind of. Starts playing Kanye. But yeah, no, it's like it's almost like a superpower, because it's like, because I've done this in like social places where it's like I've seen like a bunch of people talk, and I'll look at somebody
Yep.
or look at two people talking, and I can literally just be like, okay, this is what they're talking. Like I'll literally eavesdrop what people are talking about.
Yep, that's the point.
Yeah.
So we're 24 minutes in, about 25. So now I can say this. Now that you've analyzed, right? Let's say when we went to B-dubs, did you notice how immature like these conversations are?
Mm-hmm.
And like let's say when we had that bonfire the other day, we've had more grown
We
man
looked at each other,
conversations.
bro. We were like,
Yeah, I know. Like, no, because we were having a legit grown man conversation of like, I forgot. It was like about a 9/11, like the 9/11 thing.
yeah.
And our opinion on that. And then it was about Israel as a country.
Yeah.
So we talked about those two, and we were like in like a legit conversation. Like that was the most like
War
mature
room.
I felt. Yeah, exactly. It was like a war room type of conversation. And then out of nowhere, you hear, bro, I need a girl, man.
Yeah.
So then me and you were like, bro, come on.
Yeah. They were talking about something. We literally looked at each other like,
Yeah, I know. Because, dude, we were doing so well.
Yeah.
We were doing so well. But, I mean, it's something that I've noticed that me and you have been doing is we've been changing our environment or, like, our atmosphere.
Yeah.
We've changed.
It's literally sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah,
you,
go ahead.
But I've noticed. I actually watched this clip. I forgot the guy's name. I wish I do. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you him after. But
Mhm.
he said like when you have like addictions or bad habits that you can't get rid of, like you have to change your environment. You can't
Correct.
just like cold turkey it all the time. Like if it's something little, like yeah, you can kind of just be like, all right, yeah, I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But when it's like things that you do like every day and you have done consistently every day that isn't good, he says to like literally just change your environment. Because he said something about heroin addicts that went to rehab, and then when they went to rehab and have gone back to the environment they were in that they did heroin,
They're going to do it again.
they're more likely, they're literally probably, they're like, the chances of doing it again is like almost 100%. And the ones that have succeeded and stopped doing heroin are the ones that have removed themselves
From that environment.
from the environment ever since they got out of rehab. So it's like the things you have to do to, and people are like, well, if I do this bad habit at home, like I'm always at home. Like, you know, how can I do it? Well,
Yeah.
whatever the things that you do the bad habit with, like, I don't know, like say it's eating fatty foods or something. Like you want to go on a diet and stuff like that. Like
Correct.
literally throw everything away in your kitchen. Like literally put it in a bag and then go somewhere and throw it in a dumpster.
So I can actually talk about that. So as a person that's in a family of 6 where nobody, so except for, you know, really me and my brother, everybody else just eats whatever they want to eat.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to go on a diet just because one, like my mom already does so much. So like when she's cooking, she like yesterday we had wings. So she cooked breaded, she cooked regular, and then she grilled some for me. So it's a lot harder to be on a diet or like trying to eat healthier when the people around you are not. And I can attest to that 100% because I'm always, so I've been 100 and like, let's say 195 for the past 3-4 weeks. I haven't lost a pound because of the fact that I'll do so good. But then, you know, the environment that I'm around, I'm not making excuses, but I'm just saying like the environment that I'm around, it kind of like, you know, it starts going into my mind
Just
saying
a relapse of it.
basically like, oh, they're eating this. Why am I the only one that's like sticking out? And it's human nature humans are visual creatures. Whatever they see, that's how they're going to react. Monkey see, monkey do. That's how it works.
Literally.
And I mean, so back to the thing was that, I don't know if you've noticed, but me and you, like the more we've changed, because no matter how much I talk about my change, you've changed a lot too in the past like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know if you've noticed, but you've changed by more of just the way that you talk, the way you present yourself.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
It's something that you can't probably tell as much, but I've noticed is because of the fact that I only see you probably once or twice a week.
Exactly.
And I don't know, it's just like, it's something that's subconsciously changed. Like where you present yourself completely different than how you did before. You're just, the way you present yourself is just more, you're more upright. And like you're more confident in how you talk, if that makes sense.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I have noticed that too because I was actually just on a call with a guy to you know, do some money moves.
Correct.
Shit.
Yes.
And the way I was talking, like I was like talking to him, I was like, I'm not talking like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Think about it. So.
Yeah. So I mean that, and then like how both of us have been changing. We've changed our atmosphere just because of the way we're changing. They're adapting to how we talk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but like they're getting there. So like,
You think?
yeah, for sure. I can see like the little changes.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I had a friend. So we were talking, and like before, I always thought that he was like this immature guy.
Yeah.
He's always been so like someone that I can just go and just like mess around with because he could never take anything serious.
Mm-hmm.
I was like that before too. Like for sure I was like that like 6 months ago, maybe even 3 months ago. I was like that.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't say 3 months ago, but
yeah, around there, something like that, right? And I was always like that, and he's always like that too. And I can never take him serious. But like the past like week, he's probably been like the go-to guy for advice. Cause like obviously there's stuff that I can always improve on, and I always ask him like, what do I got to do to get this goal, this goal, this goal? Specifically, I'm not gonna say it because then he's gonna know who I'm talking about. But specifically on a certain aspect in my life,
yeah,
physically, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So yeah, like he legit gave me the full go like breakdown of what I'm doing wrong and how to fix it.
yeah,
And I've never seen that from him. Like he was really serious about it. He's like, dude,
Yeah.
if you ever need anything, like any type of advice or help like that, just let me know anytime. I'm always open.
yeah,
And I always take that to heart. Like, okay, he can help me whenever I want. Fine, I'll use it.
yeah,
So I'll text him here and there about like, what should I do on this? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Then he'll give me his exact response.
and that's I think one of the most important things just for like people growing up
Yeah.
is just guidance.
Mhm.
Like people are like, especially like certain types of men will be like, no, I don't need guidance. That's
yeah.
weak. Like
Mhm.
but it's like, dude, like how do you think these high value men have like actually got to be high value?
Correct.
Men? Is guidance, bro.
Yeah. So one podcast I do recommend everybody watching is I forgot the name of it, but Tristan Tay was on it, and they're smoking cigars in his room or like in his house because they're house arrested.
Right.
And so they're the most like high value men in the world right now, both of them. And he said the reason why we live like this is because of what I learned from when I went to India, like the Bali thing I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So what you were talking about before of like people not asking for help and stuff, that's what I consider arrogance.
Yeah.
They're just too arrogant to
That's why a certain percentage of men don't succeed.
Correct.
Is arrogance.
That's the two biggest so there's two biggest weaknesses of men: arrogance / pride and women.
I think there's more than that too.
Well, yeah, for sure.
I would add laziness and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
if you think of laziness, I always think of that as a product of your pridefulness. Because like if you think about it, let's use gym as like the gym as the example, right?
Yeah.
If I go to the gym and I'm huge, I'm swole, right? Like I'm benching 315.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna change your mindset. Like if I'm religiously lifting, I'm gonna always go to the gym.
Right.
But let's say that laziness starts to kick in. The reason why is because I'm starting to think, oh, I'm comfortable because of how big I am.
Yeah.
No one can catch me. So now I'm like, all right, now I can relax because I've always wanted the physique I wanted. There's no way that this is gonna go away.
Yeah.
And now laziness starts to kick in. You're like, oh, this is actually a lot nicer than what I was expecting. So on and so forth. Do you see what I'm saying? It always builds up.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the main two are those two. They always bounce off each other.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that.
Yeah. But I mean, big thing with arrogance is that it's hard to get rid of arrogance, but it's easy to be of the arrogant. So like it's hard to let's say I'm really prideful about myself and I'm really arrogant of like the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
And I walk around, thinking I'm the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
I can't change my mindset right then and there.
Right.
But I can always change my mindset to become arrogant.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So that's just how society is.
Yeah. That's the thing. Humans are just lazy creatures.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the ones that obviously are the most successful that are the ones that get off their ass and do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, we just went on a full 10-15 minute tangent on one topic.
All right.
Give us another one. What law do you yeah,
if you want to look too, I don't care.
No, because you read the book for like a little bit of it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I got to get back into it. It's a fire-ass book. This shit's crazy because this is actually, remember Kaiser? This is his favorite law. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following.
Ooh, explain that one.
So that one is like, all right, I'm gonna say it in a content creation
Okay.
or like selling a product in a type of way. So I'm gonna go back to it actually. So here it is. So let's go detailing, right?
Okay.
Your car needs detailing.
Yep.
And I go to detail your car. You pay me, and you really like what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll start saying, hey, I could throw this in. We can upgrade you to this service. I could change how I do this to fit your needs.
Increase the wax, or like change the quality of the wax, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be like, hey, I'm actually creating my own product. Here you could buy it. I could sell it to you. You can use it on your own car.
Yeah.
That's gonna keep you like engaged with me.
Correct.
And eventually, you're gonna keep liking the service I give you. You're gonna eventually buy my product. And right now, then and there, you have a cult like following to me. You're
okay.
engaged.
I get it.
It's almost like, because I mean, it's like play on people's needs to believe to create a cult like following.
Yeah.
So it's like you have a need, because that's the whole point of like selling a service or selling a product.
Yep.
You're filling in people's needs.
I'm in need of a detail.
Yeah. I'm in need of this. Oh, I don't have this. I'm in need of that. Oh, I can't do this without this, so I'm in need of that
Correct.
thing.
So let's use haircut as an example.
Yeah.
You're always in need of a haircut. And so like let's say you need a haircut, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go with your, what do you usually get, mid bald, 6 on top
For what?
your haircut?
No, I just do like a mid fade.
Mid fade?
Mid fade trim.
Mid fade trim on top. Okay. Yeah. That's what you get. Right. And I cut your hair, let's say every other week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you start coming to me more, and I'm like, hey, or like you have a wedding coming up, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I can get you in. And then now I start providing house calls. Hey, the drive's far for you. What about if I come to your house and cut your hair at your house? I'll clean it up and everything. All you gotta do is just have a space for me in your in your garage or in your bathroom.
Yeah.
If you have room for that, I can literally come to your house and do it for you.
Yep.
Okay. Then there's another way to expand it too. Is like, hey, I'm making my own styling product. I know you really like your hair short, so I'm gonna make this powder for you to make it look more texturized, make it look better.
Yeah.
What do you think about buying it? It was gonna make your hair look a lot better. I'll even give you a try of it when you come in for your next cut.
Mm-hmm.
You look at it, you love it. I'm like, all right, go ahead. That's how you expand your business with one person.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just do the same thing with, like, let's say like 5 or 6 clients.
Yep.
I think that's kind of like where it's going off of.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's many different examples. Like, I'm sure the examples for this law in this book are completely different from like business standpoints.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like making a podcast with you and
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing detailing on the side, it's like, it's kind of where I go with it personally.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of owning a business.
Correct.
You're filling in people's needs.
Mm-hmm.
You're serving people's needs. But I think that's like probably like top 3 laws in this book for sure, bro.
That one's a great law, and I also really like the law I randomly went to.
Yeah.
The thumb screw one.
Oh yeah.
Just because you can, you can really like just take advantage of everybody you can think of as soon as you find out their weakness.
Yeah.
And as long as you have that mindset of like how to use it to your viewpoint, then yeah, you're kind of just the most powerful man in the world, basically.
Yeah. So there's 2 pretty fire ones. These are fire back-to-back ones. Law 34 and 35.
Okay.
So 34 is
So we're going 3P here.
Yeah.
33 was the screw one.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, the thumb screw.
So yeah, 34, 35. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one.
Yeah. I like that one.
35 is master the art of timing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bro, oh my god.
Which one do you want to do?
So let's do the fashion one first.
Okay.
Because I agree. Because he's not talking about fashion directly. Right. He's talking about that metaphorically and directly.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, so let's talk about the metaphorically first. Treat yourself or act like a king so you can get treated like a king. Yeah. Correct? So if I'm, slouched, my posture's terrible. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, down bad for whatever it is, so on and so forth.
Yep.
That's how I'm gonna get treated, like some random, bum.
Oh, this guy don't look right.
Correct.
I'm not gonna approach him on an opportunity I would like to give him.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I'm walking like, You know, my posture's good. My gaze is lowered. I'm walking with a purpose.
Yeah.
Like if I'm walking, so I don't think people understand how big of walking with the purpose is.
Yeah.
If I'm walking crazy slow, you look lazy.
Yeah.
If I'm walking with a purpose, it always just looks like I have to go somewhere. Makes me look a lot more.
And to the people that actually walk with a purpose, it angers them because it's imagine like you're walking like you're just walking with a purpose. Like you look like you need to be somewhere.
Correct.
Even when you don't, it's good to look like you need to be somewhere. And there's somebody in front of you that's literally just walking lazy and slow. And as soon as you cut to the right, they cut to the right. As soon as you cut to the left, they cut to the left.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, bro, like get out of my way. You know? Yeah. That's how I am personally.
And there's always a threshold with this stuff because you can always walk like confidently, but if you're too confident, then that becomes prideful and arrogant. So as long as you can meet that threshold of being confident and not being arrogant, that's exactly where you need to be. Yeah. And it's really hard to get that down right perfectly. Yeah. Because I've tried this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say because the fact that you have to have that right amount of confidence is like because there's people that are gonna be like, oh, he walks all cocky and shit. Yep. And then other people are like, oh, he walks like like he's an important person, which is you don't want to have the reputation of like you're cocky.
And the way to do this, and how he played it is perfect. Is how you dress. Yeah. The best way to find that threshold is to change the way you dress. If you walk with a purpose and have a professional or mature looking type of style, the more and more confident, the more and more, what's the word I'm looking for? More confident, the more something, right?
Presentable.
More presentable you look, right? If I'm walking around in this, right, what I usually walk around in, and I'm walking, like how a person presentable would walk, I'm going to look really cocky. Yeah. Versus if I'm walking like that, I always look like I have a business meeting to go to. Right. Or like, there's mature styles, right? There's always so like I'm getting more and more into chinos. I don't know if you know what that is.
What is it? The pants?
Yeah. Chino pants.
Shoot.
So they're a mix of dress pants, but they're different. So they're not dress pants, but they're also not jeans. If that makes sense.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm a really big fan of those with the short sleeve button downs. Okay. Just because of the fact that my hairstyle now, it goes with that type of style. Yeah. The longer my hair gets, the more I'm going to change my style to like more long sleeve stuff, more chino, so on and so forth. Yeah. And it all matches with how you look and how you present yourself. So style advice for people is if you want to look like you're important, if you want to look like a king, if you want to look like a queen, dress like one, act like one. How you do that is how you show yourself to people. Yep. So like obviously you're not gonna go around like this. Like let's say you have a business meeting to go to, you're not gonna look like that, right? Right. No. If I have a business meeting, I'm not gonna look like this. Right. So that's how I'll say
it. That's the thing. And then there's people that are like, oh, I just don't care how I look. I don't really like care. Well, then
you should.
Yeah. One, you should, and two, it's like. To certain people, to people that actually are important and are looking for people to help them out, like hiring you for their business. Yep. They're gonna think you don't take care of yourself. So
and
it goes farther than like I don't care about how I look. I don't care about what I wear. Like I just want to save money and this and that. But it's like it's not about saving money. 2, look presentable, look confident, be confident. 3, look like it. It also makes people think you take care of yourself and you have good hygiene.
Correct. That's a big thing.
So it's not even like getting treated like a queen or looking like an important person, but it's also the hygiene part.
Yep. Well. You always look clean. Yeah. And all the people that say they can't afford it, I'm a broke college student. Yeah. I legit go to I pay for school. Yeah. And when I tell you that you can buy stuff like. I shop at Ross all the time. I shop at Target all the time. Dude, like Target chinos are the best chinos you can buy. Yeah. Like
they had some heat, bro. I bought like 2 or 3 shirts from Target, bro.
Dude, and they're like $8.
Yes, bro.
And like the chino pants, like from Zara, they're like $120. And they're like 30. Yeah. Or 25. Right. So I
don't need because when you say like, oh, these type of clothes, like. The type of clothes that like have style, it's like those are all expensive. It's like no, they're expensive at the places that
you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly.
They always have cheaper alternatives that will look the
There's
same, feel the same.
always cheaper alternatives, bro. Everywhere. Literally anything you look at, there's a cheaper alternative to.
One recommendation: shop at Ross, shop at Burlington, shop at Marshalls.
Even H&M, bro.
H&M is cheap,
which is cheap and probably the most popular cheap place like in the world.
Correct.
Like it's very like mainstream, but it's cheap.
One thing I did start hopping on is shop at Target.
Yeah, Target.
Target's shirts, and their chinos are great.
Bro. Look, this complements my curves on my body, bro. Target.
And like my personal fitting, I like baggier clothes just because I don't know. I just personally like it.
Yeah.
And like even with my dress stuff, I wear tighter stuff, but it's not super tight.
Right.
I prefer to dress more modestly.
It's just a slim fit. You know.
Exactly. Like they have certain fits. Yeah. So like I like more relaxed and regular fits. You probably like more slim fits, right? Yours just more looks like because you have an athletic build. Yeah. I personally just don't. It's not that I'm not confident with my body. I just prefer modesty over anything.
Just a preference at that point.
Exactly. I prefer modesty over that. Everything.
Yeah. It's always just obviously the fitting of the presentable clothes you wear.
Correct.
Is the preference, but the fact that you are wearing presentable clothes is the thing.
It's either you have it or you don't.
Exactly. And then when you do have it, just find your preference in the fitting.
And here's the thing with the clothing again is when you dress nicer, you're obviously going to start walking better. Yeah. And obviously you're going to start talking better, and obviously you're going to start, wearing better stuff.
And overall, you'll just feel better about yourself.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
And that increases your confidence level. So what I would recommend for people that, let's say, don't have, let's say a style, always, you can never go wrong with a pair of black pants that are like dress pants, chinos, even jeans, pair it with white shoes, black shoes, and any type of button down. Yeah. Or any type of V-neck. Yeah. You can always match with that. Yeah.
And that's the thing too about like looking important is like you don't always have to wear that one type of style. Correct. That makes you look important. You can always wear like I've even seen like street clothes that I think it's like, oh, that's kind of like,
oh yeah, for sure,
pretty cool. Yeah. Like you can wear that and walk with confidence, and you can, be confident. And if we're even gonna tap into the whole dating game, like
increases your chance.
Yeah, you'll feel more confident in yourself. So then you could just go up to the girl you like and talk to her.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, even like, let's say you're Muslim, right? Like me, it's not gonna help. Like, let's say you're going to the mosque and you're looking for the dad, right? Or you're just looking for the wali, like I was telling you about. Right. They're not gonna look at you if you're like some random bum off the street. Yeah. You have to look presentable for the dad, for the brother, for the grandpa, whoever it is. Right. Like, let's say I'm interested in a girl, I'm gonna be like, obviously I'm not gonna show up like this. Yeah. Probably I'll wear you've seen it, my thobe that I'd be wearing, like the really long thing. Probably wear something like that and show up and talk to her dad at the mosque. Yeah. Because it shows exactly where I want to be with my life. Right. So it's the same thing. Yeah. That's why I really like that one.
Yeah, that's I don't know, that's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie,
dude. Like, cause you can go multiple directions with that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then Law 35, page 291. Master the art of timing. Okay. Which is the
one thing I would say in the past 2-3 weeks is I've gotten my timing down. Yeah.
With what?
So I work 2 jobs, and my timing with, I would say, being able to understand professional life versus personal life, and having time for both. Okay. So I'm not feeling burnt out all the time.
That work life balance.
Correct. Yeah. And I just recently started lifting again, and that completely threw off my schedule. But I'm starting to work it back in, so I'm starting to incorporate that rule by best way to do it. If you have an iPhone, use your calendar app. Yeah. Use your calendar app. Yeah. Like, I'll show you after. Yeah. But I literally have everything to the T on there. Yeah. And if I'm not doing that at that time, then I go there and I do it at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fire. There was I remember, honestly, because I don't use like the given calendar app. Like, if there's something important, I'll mark it down. Yeah. But I don't have like my schedule on there. Because with this new porter job, I get out at literally random times. Yeah. I've gotten out at 3:30. I've gotten out at 4:45. So it's kind of like a dangerous game to play to like plan something right after.
Exactly.
So, whenever there's something important, I'll definitely use that app. But for timing, for me, like when when I read that, I think about like when to do things, not as like far as like work life and you know how your schedule is, which is definitely a very important way to use that law.
Yeah.
But definitely like when to make certain moves.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I get it.
Do I wait a day? Do I, do it earlier? Do I do it on time? How do I do it as well? So I think that timing thing is like, it's like something you can think in multiple different directions of. And it's just like, when I see it, I think of more of like when to do things and how to kind of go at it.
Okay. So with your perspective, let's say, if I'm asking for a piece of advice from your perspective, would you say for me to trust my gut or for me to overanalyze?
For me personally, if you were to ask for a piece of advice, or if you're gonna say, hey,
okay, here I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm invested in Tesla.
Okay.
And I put, let's say, $700 down.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's about, so how much is Tesla right now? 100. So I have about like 7.5 shares or something, like 7.5 shares.
Yeah.
Okay. When do I sell it? And how do I know when to sell it?
So I would say for that, there's people that obviously have a gut feeling and do it, and it's a hit or miss.
Yep.
For me personally, and what I've seen is you watch the news, look at what moves Elon is making, because obviously what he does, it depends really on how that stock moves. Yep. How anything in the world that's how stocks move. It's just what happens in the world.
Yep.
So it's like, just pay attention to the news, make a calculated risk, and don't overdo it, and don't take it too lightly.
Yeah.
Depending on how much cash you have in, if you missed your opportunity, but you could just keep investing for the next one, do that. But take the calculated risk, and then watch the news to see what he moves, and move according to him. Because you're kind of like, you have a share of the company, but it's like you're kind of doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
You almost have to just bounce off of what he does.
Yep.
So if he does something good and the stock goes up, why would you sell it?
Yeah.
If he's like, oh shit, Tesla's like, these cars are, a lot of recalls are happening, then it's like, get the fuck out of there. You know?
So, like, for example, Tesla just recently started to announce that they're going to start doing like a taxi cab service with their electric cars. Let's see how the public reacts to that, because that's either going to completely like exponentially grow it or exponentially decrease it.
Yeah.
It all depends.
Right.
But you said calculated risk.
Yeah.
Can you explain how to look at that, how to calculate a risk per se?
So for me, calculated risk, how I would go about that is you would have to, because like I said, you would have to watch what he does. Yep. So let's say that taxi cab service, if that's a complete 50-50, then it's like, whatever.
It depends on how you are. If you're more of an aggressive person, you put it down. If you're a more conservative person, then you not put it down.
Exactly. So it's like, you have to just figure out who you are as a human. Am I more on the offense? Do I really want to keep chasing money? Yeah. Or is it like, oh, I got money, like it's okay if I lose this or that. So it's like, it's really, calculated risk is also a part of like who you are as a person. So for me, it's like, if you're on offense and this whole taxi cab service with Tesla is a 50-50, you're probably going to want to stay in to see if it goes up.
Yep. Correct.
So the whole calculated risk thing, it's not like an actual math equation like it sounds like it is.
But it's not.
It's really just a mix of the, what are the chances of something going up or down in stocks and who you are as a person. So you really just have to be more. So to make that calculated risk call, it's like you just have to know everything down to the T. Like you have to know what kind of person you are. You have to know what information is given to you, what decisions you can make based off the information that's given to you. She's scared of the fireworks. This dog, man. Jojo's probably in the basement.
Probably.
But yeah, that's how I would go about it. So like me, like if I was trading with Tesla and I'm like, bro, I need this money. Yeah. I'm just going to stand and see what happens. And then if you miss the opportunity, it's like,
it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you always bounce back. Because honestly, like with stocks, there's so many opportunity to make money.
Correct. There's always an opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, one piece of advice that you would give from that law. So like for somebody that hasn't read the book and the way that you're describing it, and somebody wants to change their life by using that law, time, like perfecting timing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What piece of advice would you give to help somebody get the ball rolling on perfecting their timing?
So I would say understand what kind of timing you want, because obviously, like for you,
Correct.
it was organizing your work-life balance and your schedule.
Yep.
For me, it was when do you do things and how do you do them.
Yep.
With what information.
So it depends on the person.
So it depends on the person. So for me, it's like, because me personally, I never would have thought of a work-life balance with that law.
And me personally, I wouldn't thought of how you thought of it with that law.
Exactly. So it's like however you read it and whatever you first perceive it, go through that and then understand. Because I don't want to say like, oh yeah, go out and talk to people about the book, because it's almost like kind of a win in silence kind of mentality.
Different, yeah.
I kind of, that's what I kind of have, is like a win in silence. So when you're doing good by reading something, that's
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, that's probably another.
That's the best. That's the best piece of advice you can give somebody.
Yeah. Win in silence, bro.
Win in silence. Never celebrate. So yeah, celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
But keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Same thing with your losses. Always keep them to yourself.
Yeah. 100%.
Always learn from your losses.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. But back to that law, I would just say, however you read it, like whatever you first perceive that law to be, it's most likely the thing you need to work on the most.
Yeah.
Because let's say I read it and my work-life balance was all fucked up.
Yep. And that's how you know that's what you gotta work on.
And then it's like, when I read it, it's like, okay, let's incorporate work-life balance into this law. Then it's like the thing you need to work on. Then it's like, well, if you read it and then you're like, well, I perceived it this way, but I'm kind of good on that.
Yeah.
Then find other ways. What timing things are you bad at?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a mind game reading this book as well. You're perceiving information, but you're also trying to figure out how do you better yourself in different aspects of yourself.
Yep.
Into one law. And that's why this book is so crazy, because it's like you can comprehend different laws in so many different ways.
Yeah. So what I would say for that law is there's another way you can think about it is with social cues.
Yeah.
Timing with social cues, which is really hard for some people.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you perceive it. That's why this book is really good.
Yeah.
I personally haven't read it yet, just because I haven't bought it.
Yeah.
But
they got it at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. So if you guys do want to buy it, it's 48 Laws.
Yeah, 48 Laws
48
of Power.
48 Laws of Power.
Robert Greene.
By Robert Greene. It's a great book on to completely change your perspective and become successful in your life, no matter in what.
Box too.
Yeah.
It's crazy because this law is literally banned in other countries. So in a sense, you're getting a very like exclusive quote unquote book.
Yeah.
So
another way to change your life is everybody's religious to something, and commit yourself to it.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm religious to Islam. You're religious to, let's say, I don't know exactly what you're religious to, but let's say you're religious to something. Focus on that.
Yeah.
And always work yourself, make that your foundation and work your way off of that.
Yeah. And
so, yeah.
Never do a bunch of things at once. Do one thing for a long time until you master it, and then branch off into the other things.
That's best.
That's one of the best things I've ever learned, was because of like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. Then how do I do all that? Like, but it's like, people who have been successful, they've always just mastered what they've done and then branched out in the other things that made them more wealthy.
Specialize, then generalize.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
I remember.
In general.
That's the guy that I was talking about that had that podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that explained that specialization versus generalization.
Oh,
always specialize and master that before you branch off in your opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. What was there's a saying, it's not the man that done 1,000 things, but the man that done one thing 1,000 times, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
And then there's another one where it's like, I don't know if I said this one already, but it's so tough men create good times.
We got like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, tough men create good times, good men create tough times.
Yeah. And then so on.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yep. See you next week.
See y'all.